Imagine this. A woman sits quietly, smiling politely, engaging in small talk. Outwardly, she appears soft, gentle, nurturing, but deep inside her mind, there is a hidden desire, a fantasy that she will never admit openly. A fantasy so dark, so mysterious, that even she struggles to put it into words. Most men never realize this truth. They chase women with gifts, compliments, and approval, yet remain blind to the very thing that actually ignites her deepest attraction. Today, I will reveal what that dark fantasy truly is, why women keep it secret, and how understanding it the lens of Stoic wisdom and psychology can transform not only how you see women, but also how you master yourself as a man. So let's begin. Chapter 1, The Mystery of the Female Mind for centuries. Men have tried to decode women's desires. Philosophers, poets, and psychologists have all attempted to answer one burning question: what do women truly want? But here's the paradox: if you ask a woman directly, she may not even be able to articulate it herself. Desire, especially female desire, operates in the subconscious, shaped by biology, culture, and emotion. Freud once famously said, "The great question that has never been answered is, what does a woman want?" Yet, if we dig deeper, we discover a pattern across cultures and across time. Women share one powerful hidden fantasy, not about money, not about flowers or chocolates, but about something primal. Before I reveal it, let's first step into the world of Stoicism, because only through mastering yourself can you understand the hidden nature of desire in others. Chapter 2, Stoicism and Desire. The Stoics, Marcus Aurelius Epictetus Seneca, taught that human beings are often enslaved by passion. Desires control us. We chase what we don't have. We attach ourselves to illusions. But here's the twist. In relationships, it is often women who secretly desire to be freed from the burden of control. Women live in a world that constantly demands they be in charge of their looks, their careers, their emotions, their safety. But deep inside, their dark fantasy is not to control, but to surrender. To surrender not to just any man, but to a man who is truly grounded, unshakable, and calm. This is where Stoicism enters. A man who has mastered his emotions, who does not react impulsively, who carries himself with quiet strength, awakens in a woman something she rarely admits: the desire to let go and trust his leadership. Chapter 3, The Dark Fantasy Revealed. So here it is, the fantasy most women will never say out loud. They long to be with a man strong enough for them to surrender control. Not surrender in a shallow or a disrespectful sense. Not domination in a cruel way, but surrender in the sense of letting go of constant control, of finally resting in her feminine energy. Because she has found a man capable of holding the frame, she fantasizes about a man who is unmovable in storms, a man who doesn't crumble when tested, a man who doesn't need her validation because he already lives by principle. This is the dark fantasy: to give herself fully, not to a man who begs, pleads, or chases, but to a man who stands in his stoic frame. And this fantasy is dark because it contradicts the world's illusion of equality in desire. She doesn't want to lead. she wants to trust. She wants to feel safe enough to release her control. Chapter 4, why she keeps it secret, but why doesn't she openly admit this? Because society has conditioned women to hide it. To admit she wants to surrender would make her appear weak or old-fashioned. Many women themselves don't fully understand this. Desire shows up only in fleeting moments in the kind of man she feels safe with. And so instead of saying it, she tests you, she provokes you, she challenges you, she observes whether you break under pressure, because only then does she know if you are the man she can trust with her hidden fantasy. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is exactly why women are drawn to Stoic men. If you cannot master your emotions, she cannot surrender to you. Chapter 5, the tests of a woman now. Let me tell you a story. There was once a young Roman soldier who loved a woman deeply, but she often mocked him, tested him, even ignored his affection. His friends told him to walk away, but he was convinced that if he loved her harder, she would accept him. One night, he asked an old Stoic philosopher for advice. The philosopher said, "Stop trying to win her with words. She tests you, not to reject you, but to see if you are strong enough to hold her world when it shakes." And he realized her resistance was not hatred, it was nature. A woman's test is not to destroy you, but to reveal you. This is why women push boundaries, why they say one thing and do another. It is not malice, it is instinct. The fantasy of surrender can only come alive if the man proves he will not. Collapse when tested. Chapter 6. The Stoic frame so. How do you embody the man who fulfills her unspoken fantasy? The answer is not in manipulation. It is in self-mastery. Emotional control. Do not let anger, jealousy, or insecurity dictate your behavior. She will test you, but your calmness must remain unshaken. Purpose above pleasure. Live for a mission greater than her. A woman cannot surrender to a man who worships her. She surrenders to a man devoted to his higher path, boundaries, and integrity. A Stoic man does not bend his values to please anyone. He leads with principle, not approval seeking. Silence over reactivity. Often, the most powerful response is no response. As Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. These are not tricks. These are ways of being. When you live by them, you naturally awaken the dark fantasy in Hertha, desire to rest in your strength. Chapter 7, the modern world and hidden desire in today's world. Women are told to be independent, strong, and self-sufficient, and indeed, they are. But independence does not erase biology. It does not erase psychology. Even the strongest woman behind closed doors longs to be with a man who gives her the freedom to soften. This is why so many women chase bad boys even when they know it's self-destructive. The bad boy appears unshaken, detached, free from neediness. Unfortunately, most bad boys lack true virtue. They rule with chaos, not with principle. What she truly craves is not the reckless rebel, but the Stoic warrior, the man who combines strength with virtue, calmness with courage. This is the rare combination that fulfills her secret fantasy. Chapter 8. The Stoic Secret to Attraction. Now, here's the ultimate lesson. Attraction is not about chasing, not about convincing, not about begging. Attraction is about being a man so aligned with his values, so grounded in his purpose, so steady in his emotions that a woman's soul feels safe enough to surrender. This is her dark fantasy. And this is your Stoic path. Seneca wrote, "Most powerful is he who has himself in his own power." When you master yourself, you unlock the very thing women never confess, but always crave. Closing so, the next time you ask yourself what women want, remember this: it is not money, it is not looks, it is not words, it is presence, strength, calmness, the Stoic frame that allows her to release control. This is the fantasy she hides, this is the truth most men never see, and if you embrace it not, to control her. But to master yourself, you will not only attract women differently, you will walk through life with the unshakable power of a Stoic man. Outro CTA. If this message resonated with you, subscribe for more deep dives into Stoicism, psychology, and relationships. Share this with someone who needs to hear the truth about attraction. And remember the words of Maruksa Aurelius Suez: no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one.